What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith, and welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. This is a channel I created to use in order to share with all of you about all of the things that I am reading and the many genres I read in hopes of helping you find your next read. On today's episode of Fun, I'm going to share with you all of the books that I am hoping to read during the month of October. First on the list is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. This is a horror manga that I will be buddy reading this month with Una from the Codex Cantina. It seems we have fallen back into our routine of buddy reading comics and manga. This is one I have not read before. I'm very, very excited. I literally know nothing about it except that it was recommended to me by Una to read in October. So that is all I can tell you until I start reading it, and then I'll be updating you in my weekly reading wrap-ups. Next on the list is Sweet Pea by C.J. Skuse, which I have no idea if I said their last name correctly or not. This is the first book in the Sweet Pea series, and it came highly recommended to me by my friend Mason in the Dark. I will link his review down below because that review is what got me interested, but how I came to read this one this month is Mason and I thought it would be fun to choose a book for each other to read. I chose The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie for him, and he chose this one for me. So I'm very excited for my little TBR swap to see how I'm going to like it. I really feel like I'm going to love it, and I hope he loves The Blade Itself. I mean, he's going to be listening to the audiobook by Stephen Pacey, so can you see any way that could go wrong? I can. I will also be reading the first book in the Magical Rome universe by A. David Singh, Dead Boys Game and the Broken Vow. This is a fantasy book. Look at that. Look how skinny that is. I'm really excited. I'm very much looking forward to the adventures of these three characters as they each strive to achieve senatorship in Rome. And I read the first chapter already. In fact, before I even accepted it to review, I listened to the author read the first chapter on his YouTube channel, which I'll have linked down below, and then I actually downloaded it to read it for myself, because sometimes when someone reads it to you, it's a different experience than when you read it yourself. So I wanted to be sure it was going to be something that I would enjoy. This is one of those fantasies that's going to have some mystery and magic, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what this one holds for me. And just like the 6 months previous, October is going to have some Joe Abercrombie. I will be reading the short story collection Sharp Ends. I am so excited to read this. I saw a review by Leanna's Library, which I'll link down below. She did a non-spoiler review just to tell you kind of what to expect from this collection. I was already going to read it. Like, that was just going to happen. I'm going to read everything by Joe Abercrombie forever and ever. Amen. But I really loved her review because it told me kind of what to expect. Like, we're going to get some really great stories about characters. If any of you have at least read the first book, The Blade Itself, you've met Glokta. Glokta is a favorite of a lot of people, and when we meet him, he's crippled. But we always hear about when he wasn't. Supposedly, one of the stories in here, we get to meet him when he was still handsome and a formidable foe as far as fighting. I am so excited for this one. I will also be doing an immersion review. Yeah, you heard me right. Immersion reading is what I call reading the physical copy while listening to the audiobook. Very soon, there's going to be an audiobook available for The Unwelcome by Jacob Stephen Moore. The book was actually published in February of 2021, and he sent me a copy of that as well, so I will get to do an immersion reading for it. I am very excited to do my first read and review of an immersion read. This one I have really high hopes for, and there's actually a trailer for this book, which is what hooked me into saying yes to reading and reviewing. I will link that YouTube video down below if you want to give that a watch, but I am really looking forward to getting into this one. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading and reviewing this month because I also have Spontaneous Human Combustion by Richard Thomas, a collection of short stories of his. This collection is available sometime in 2022. I don't have the exact date available in front of me. I will put that on the screen if it is made available. If not, I'll definitely fill you guys in when I know. But I'm excited to get into these stories and see what I think. I have just really become a fan of short stories lately. Continuing the Discord read-along of the Books of Babel, I will be reading The Hod King by Josiah Bancroft. I cannot wait. This one is a little bit chunkier than the two before it, which I am okay with because I love these books. I really loved Arm of the Sphinx. I loved the pacing. I just really loved the uniqueness of what happened in the story in the second book. So I am very curious what's going to happen here. I have a prediction, but I cannot share it just in case you're watching and you haven't started this series yet. But I have a feeling I'm going to meet somebody here that I have been wanting to meet for a long time. And the way that the last one ended, Sinlin's got a few things to answer for, guys. And I am looking forward to seeing how that plays out. There's also going to be a reread of Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston on my Discord, which I have linked in the description box down below. Read this book last year, might have been in September. Loved it, and it sent me down the path of reading more of Zora Neale Hurston, which I have now, thanks to my wonderful friend Evie, read so much of her work. I love it. She has not ever let me down once. And this is the one that started it all. So I am looking forward to rereading this. I love this beautiful copy. It's the 75th anniversary edition. I love the deckled pages. I love the French flaps. Like, that's my new thing, French flaps. Just the material it's made out of. I can't wait to read it in physical format because the first time I read it last year was on my Kindle. So can't wait to read that. All of you are welcome to join me. It is just a beautiful story of a young woman's journey to finding out who she is, being okay with the person that she is, and just looking for what she desires in love, and just never giving up hope that she will one day find it. Oh! It's so good, but it's going to break your heart a time or two. And then my patron pick of the month is The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. My patron that the Wheel of Names picked was Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads. He, without any hesitation when I told him that the wheel chose him, he said The Ember Blade, which works out perfect for me because when I saw his review, I went to buy this book immediately, but it was out of stock. Fortunately, when he picked it for me to read for this month, it was back in stock, so I was able to pick up a copy. I am very much looking forward into delving into this one and just seeing if I agree with Andrew's opinion of it. I have a feeling I will. A lot of people have really seemed to enjoy this one. I have no idea what it's about. Literally none, but I will have Andrew's video down below if you would like to look and see for yourself. And full disclosure, I watch a ton of BookTube and somebody will talk about a book and I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I'll add it to my list. By the time I get to it, I have completely forgotten, for the most part, what the book is about. I just know that somebody that I respect their reviews and have similar tastes with really loved it and I wanted to try it. I will also be continuing the Aurelian cycle with Flamefall by Rosaria Munda. I told you guys last month when I read Fireborn, I just felt like I was going to love it so much that I went ahead and got book 2. And our buddy read Fireborn with Christy Lewis, Dostoevsky in Space, and Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia, and the three of us will be joining together to read this one. I am very, very excited. Another thing that I love is that publishers have started doing this. And that is, instead of a synopsis, they just put a one-liner to get you interested. The second revolution is coming. Which side are you on? Like, that is literally all I want to know. Seriously, I love that. I wish more publishers would adapt that. Also, a book that I've been looking forward to reading for a very long time, that is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I was exposed to Leo Tolstoy by the Codex Cantina with some of his short stories. And then I talked with Una later and got some recommendations for other stories by Tolstoy that I read and really enjoyed. So I started looking around and I was watching Noah on the channel Everyone Who Reads It Must Converse, and he had done a review about this one and I was like, you know what, I think that's going to be my first novel by Tolstoy that I read. And so now the time has come to read it. Not only will I be reading it, I will be reading it along with the Literary Discourse Discord. That is our classics and literary fiction book club that I have joined in with the Codex Cantina and Christy Lewis, Dostoevsky in Space. I will have that Discord linked in the description down below. If you would like to read Anna Karenina with us, it's going to be a 6 to 8 week read along. We're just going to do a nice, slow reading of the book together. And I mean, it is a chunker, so we try to allow for plenty of time to get through these. Again, we got another one with deckled edges and French flaps. And it's so funny because I bought this book in a different edition, but when I realized I could get one with the French flaps and deckled edges, I had to do it. But again, I picked this book out to read almost a year ago, have no idea what it is about. Literally none. I am just going in. I'm looking around here and it looks like October is going to be chock full of self-published, independent, small press authors, and I am not mad about that. Next up on the list is Gawain by J.P. Harker. It is the first book in his new Arthurian series that he has. I am so excited. I love anything about Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. I am in. Camelot, I am in. But this one is said to follow the early lives of Arthur's knights and the eventual formation of Camelot. I cannot wait to find out what happens here. I have been looking forward to this one ever since I received it. I did receive this from the author to read, and I am so thankful he sent it to me because I have not gotten up to date on the Caledon saga yet. And I feel so terrible about it. And I really wanted to ask him for this one when he sent out his newsletter about it coming out. But I was like, you can't ask him for it because you haven't even gotten caught up on his current series that you've started. But he was like, hey. And I was like, yes. So very excited to get into this one. And I think that this is my last small press indie self-pub author. This is Aching God by Mike Shell. This was sent to me by Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and I am so excited. This is another one that I discovered from Andrew's channel. That review will also be down in the description box for you, but this one sounds so good. This is a series, a trilogy that Andrew has just loved. He has been talking about nonstop. So he sent this to me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put this on my October TBR. And he said, well, I'll reread it with you. Like, it's so good. He is almost doing an immediate reread of this trilogy. Like, that tells you something. That speaks volumes when someone loves a trilogy so much that they will do an instant reread with you. So we're actually going to do a read along. I know there are a lot of people on Andrew's Discord that have already started the series. There's already channels there where they're talking about it. So I'm just going to jump into those channels when I read it with Andrew. We're going to be talking about it. And if any of you want to pick this up and read it with me, please come join me over on the Wizardly Duo Discord starting in October as I read through it. I will have Andrew's Discord linked down below so you can find it easily if you'd like to come join me for that one. Last but not least is The House of Leaves by Mark Danielski. I still don't know how to say his last name. And I'm going to be working my way through this chunker. I was actually watching, oh, please don't let me get her channel wrong, Paperback Dreams. I think it's Paperback Dreams. If I'm saying her channel name wrong, I'll put the right one on the screen for you guys. But I saw that she was going to be reading it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to read this. And then Steve Talks About Books and Stuff was like, oh, wait. We're all reading it. So I'm going to be buddy reading it with a lot of really great people. So you're going to be hearing a lot about this on different channels in the month of October. I am so curious about it. It looks so weird, but it is supposedly very scary. But I think it's chaotic. Like, it's just, things are written in different typefacings, different areas. Like this one, there's literally like one letter right here on this page, and I'm like, what does that even mean? So I'm really confused about it, but I am excited to finally delve into it and see what I think about it. And then, if I finish all of these books in October and I have another day left, I will be joining Evie from She Was Only Evie and Jake from The Bookish Drummer and reading The Last Final Girl by Stephen Graham Jones. It's a little one. I can knock it out in a day, so as long as I can get my other books taken care of, I will be squeezing this one in as well. I love Stephen Graham Jones. I cannot wait to read this book. I cannot get enough of his writing. I'm so glad. He is so prolific and has so much out there for me to delve into. And guys, I believe, let me look, make sure. Oh, yep, I did forget one. What did I do with that book? There it is. I will also be reading the third novella in A Lineage of Grace by Francine Rivers, and that would be Unshaken. It is all about Ruth and the fact that she gave up everything and God chose to honor her for it. And so that will conclude all of the things that I am planning to read in the month of October. Let's play some bets. What do you guys think? You think I'm going to be able to read all of this in October? Now, to be fair, some of these are skinny, so I should get through them pretty quickly. Now, Anna Karenina is over a month long for the read-along, so that one I don't have to complete, but I think this looks doable. I don't know. Maybe not with some of these bricks. We'll see how it goes. If any of the books here are books that you are also reading in October, definitely join me to talk about these books on my Discord. A couple of the books, the discussion threads will be on another server, but I can definitely get you directed there if you want to join in. I would also love to know if you've read any of these and what experience you had with them. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.